Well, I think Tickle Tour was my favorite, and I just wrote it out. I wanted to see what it looked like on paper. That's why I did all of them. Well, that goes back to my father. He was also a musician, and he helped me write out Coleman Hawkins' solo on Body and Soul back in when I was in the 10th grade. So that's how I approached it, the way he did. And it really worked for me because I just wanted to get it down on paper first, and then I would listen to it along with the record. And then after I could get the fingering down, then I would listen to the record and mark up the music with phrasing marks, accents, and breath marks, and dynamic marks, that kind of thing. And that, I really wanted to get inside the essence of the solo, and I mean not so much the notes, but the feeling of how he got that way, like how he made that thing happen. Like, so I just built, from writing it out to really working on it in fine detail later on, and I think that's a lot of the younger players today miss out when they take these books like Charlie Parker solos. There aren't many, unless the young solos around, but there are a lot of Charlie Parker books with a lot of errors in them, by the way. But because they don't have to go through the process of taking it off the record, they never really get into the depth of the solo, what it means. And they don't get the same depth of the feeling behind it, so maybe they can play the notes, but it doesn't really mean anything to them. I think you really got to go through the nitty-gritty, slugging it out note by note, and it really embeds itself in your brain like no other way it could. All the time I was in the Army, all my free time was copying records mainly. I had an Army phonograph, which for some reason was variable speed from 0 to 100. The Army covers all bets, But it was the old-fashioned kind where you had to change the needle, looked like nails, you could see the white grooves coming out of the record where the solo was, so you didn't have to search for it. It was right there, that white mark. And but I wrote out Bird's solo on Coco. I mean, all the choruses, and drove everybody in the barracks crazy. I finally had to go over to an empty mess hall at night, around 9, 10 o'clock, when it was empty, because I was in the barracks with 50 people, and they didn't want to hear, especially when I slowed down to half speed. That was really a bit much for them. But and I did a lot of Prez solos that time too. But then even after I started with Lenny, he didn't have me. He never told me to write anything out. But when I had some spare time, I still did that. I spent a lot of time on 12th Street Rag, his solo on that. Again, going through all the articulation and phrasing marks, all that stuff. And every once in a while, if some solo just grabbed me, I would just stop and try to write it out and see what it would look like.